Hello, welcome to another episode of Understand Nation. We have a very amazing hot summer going on right now. Last week was amazing. This week is amazing.
I mean, it is summer, and okay, my room is really hot right now. Just saying.
Same.
So that's why he's got his hair rocked over like an emo style, so he can block some of that sunlight from on his.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
But I just want to say, like 2019 summer, it was pretty good. We got some pretty good hits. It wasn't as hard hitting as I thought it would be compared to like 2018 summer. Like I was really blown away, but this summer has been really amazing for me.
I think so far it's definitely better than 2019 summer.
Yes, for sure. That's exactly how I feel.
I mean,
because like even though like last summer was great, this is just really killing it.
I do miss the summers where Sistar came out with their songs. I do miss their summers.
Yeah, man. I actually really like the Speaker as well. With geez, like probably like 6 years ago. So roll into our first one. So this first one is Chung Ha with Play.
This is the first time we've talked about Chung Ha in a while.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time we talked about her this year too.
This year, yeah.
Because she's had 3 or 4 comebacks this year so far. So,
I mean, it's not like we don't.
So
It's not like we don't like her music. It's just she released a lot of other songs where at the same time as a bunch of other big releases. So it just happened that we kind of ended up choosing other releases.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was that one where it was a big Sprite commercial too. So.
Oh yeah, Sprite and TikTok.
Yep.
So here we got Play. We were talking quite a bit about this style here too. So with Play, if you've listened to Bandit's Jungle from what was it, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Something like that.
Oh, no wonder it felt so familiar. I'm like, this song feels so familiar.
So we're seeing a bit of this M&H entertainment label flavor here with Play, and we're kind of seeing like that's what they got going on for their labels style. So if you liked Bandit's Jungle, I think you're gonna love this one a lot as well.
Right.
So Nick, let's go into this music because we were talking about the style as well, and it's really interesting.
So this style is very much it's a Latin house mix with other elements. So when you say Latin house in general, it's already kind of getting into that realm of like Moombahton. But because that's where Moombahton originally came from, it came from like a very mix of electronica and
reggaeton as well. So
yeah,
like
it was reggaeton and house essentially that mixed together, or electronica music that mixed together and made Moombahton. So you're already kind of getting into that. The reason that this is not Moombahton and this is Latin house though is because those reggaeton aspects are not there.
Yep.
So
particularly with the bass line.
with the bass, there is a lot more bass than you would find in a normal Moombahton song. Which leads it more into that more Latin house area. It is a little faster than a Latin house song would be.
Okay.
So it's kind of this weird mix,
and
but
also the bass isn't as punchy as like reggaeton is. So yeah, it's got a lot of energy to it. I mean, again, it's coming from that house aspect, it's got a lot of energy to it. There's a lot of
effects. I mean, and where they get the speed from and the tempo is the pop aspects that they implement into it too. So that also gives it a little more upbeat tempo.
It creates a lot of vibrant energy to the song itself. I mean, I think you guys saw me. I was wanting to get up and start dancing. It's a great song for that.
I wonder though if this is going to be a trend for this summer so far. I mean, like we've seen, like especially this week as well, there's a lot of Latin influence.
Yes.
And I mean, Latin lends itself really well to summer.
Right.
Yep. It's got, because I mean, with that kind of imagery that you would associate with that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
The vocals. So whoever whoever did the mixing, they did a really good job because her vocals, I would not expect her vocal timbre and her vocal style to fit well with this type of song. And as I was listening to it, like they did a very careful job of mixing it so that her voice wouldn't blend too much into the music, where it would get like overwritten basically. But you can still pick out her vocals very clearly. So they did a very good job with that.
I loved how like the vocals weren't like too far in front, and or the accompany. I think it's the accompaniment. I'm still learning the language. Okay, I'm still learning the language.
You're right. It's the accompaniment.
How that's not so forward that it can overpower her vocals. Because I know that it can get overpowered if it's not mixed right, and that's something that I enjoy listening to the vocals, and so if it gets overpowered by the accompaniment, it's just not as enjoyable. And that's coming from someone who's all visuals, dude.
I actually get really excited when I hear you actually talk about the music that way too. Like I really do. So, and also like just going back to what you were saying too with it not being too far forward. So, J-pop does that a lot.
It does.
Where they'll move the vocals so far forward, and especially with certain vocalists who aren't like the strongest vocalists, so they would get overpowered by the music. So here, it's more, rather than being too far in the back or too far in the front, it's really more in line with, because it's like you were saying, right? It's more in the lines of like Latin house, and with house, the vocals aren't the priority. They aren't the main priority.
Very much in Latin house, the vocals are seen as another instrument.
So here, it's more in line with the musical accompaniment, but it's not. It's so carefully balanced that they don't drown each other out. It's great. I love it.
I mean, like, because this is a music video that we didn't talk about, I want to say last week. It was Anzai Keren's, the Japanese music video. Like, her vocals were very like beautiful. The accompaniment was very beautiful, but the accompaniment overpowered her vocals. So,
or would have overpowered the vocals if they didn't push it so far in the back.
Right.
Like they pushed because they mixed it so far in the back. It sounded like someone, it sounded like you're in a karaoke room singing.
Right.
Because and I really like the arrangement for that song. Yeah. But again, just like we talked about before, it would have overpowered the vocals. So here, they avoided that.
They avoided it.
I really.
And Chung Ha's vocals really carried a lot of power to it. So.
Yeah, because she's not really known for her ability to project, to belt out vocals, or her, I guess, like her vocal ranges. And she's very nasally. She's naturally nasally. But she did. I thought everything was well put together around her vocals. So as far as a video, that video was also just like the song. The video was also full of very vibrant energy.
The colors were very reminiscent of Latin color, heavily used Latin colors.
Yes.
Not obviously they're not Latin colors. Colors don't belong to a certain culture, but it's very Latin influenced usage of colors, and it was so beautiful.
I mean, especially at some of the other parts where they had like what was it? Like they were dancing tango.
Yeah,
doing some tango dancing. So a lot of imagery was very on par with that as well.
Did you notice that the dress was heavily influenced by like the tango dresses, the dresses used in tango? Yeah, no, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the flowing, and so they captured. So, I would imagine, well, probably easier for her with her background with dancing and whatnot. But to be able to dance in a way to get the dress to flow in the way they did to get it captured on camera, that's actually a lot harder than most people would think. I mean, most people wouldn't think twice about that, but no, that's actually pretty hard.
I've tried tango once. It was difficult. Like I was like, nope, I suck. And my partner was like, she struggled using the trying to practice the dress.
The dress.
We're like, oh yeah, no, we're done. We're done. It was pretty funny.
So with Chung Ha's play, I think it goes very well. It pairs very well with her label mates Bandit and Jungle.
M&H has done a great job of mastering this Latin sound.
Yes, and you said before too that M&H is a pretty new company. Chung Ha is their first artist, Bandit's their first group, so they're killing it.
Yeah, they're doing really well. And I mean, I think this company will definitely become a forefront for the Latin sound in coming years.
Them along with DSP Media with Card.
Yeah,
I think the two of them will be the kind of the powerhouses, I guess, of this part of the market. So, you ready to move it on?
Sure,
we can.
So next one is SF9's Summer Breeze,
which if you like Chung Ha's, you'll like SF9's.
Yes. So Summer Breeze, wow. Yeah, again, so here it's another Western influence, but not in the Southern Hemisphere. It's more of the Northern Hemisphere with North American Western kind of music sampling through in it, but based around, you said it was a kind of a bass house, or dance bass.
Very similar to like a deep house, but also has a lot of tropical house influence. And even some a little bit of dubstep influence. So it's very much electronica as the song goes.
Very danceable. Another song that really had me going from the very beginning. So at first, it felt like the bass was like really overpowering, right?
Yes.
The song?
Yep. The bass was very gritty, and it's basically what they do is it's called a fattener. They turn up the fatness on the bass, and that makes it sound very gritty, very dirty. And when it's turned down, it makes it sound very smooth, and clear.
Yeah.
And so they turned up the fatness on the bass really high, and that's what gives it that sound.
Now you said you didn't like that though, right?
I did not like that. I don't think it really fit inside of the song that well. I mean, they have other things in there that are turned up like that, but if you turn up too many things like that and make too many things very raw and exposed, it flattens the sound a lot.
Right.
And that's all relates to sound stages that we've talked about before. For a tropical house has a very open soundstage. It wants to make everything feel light and kind of floaty, almost.
Right, to get you kind of want to dance to it.
Yeah, so. But when you have a very gritty bass, that wants to close the soundstage. That wants to make it so that you want to sit and listen to it. And so they contradict each other. It's a lot of dissonance in like the feeling of the song.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that I didn't mind it. That dissonance that you're talking about, I think that dissonance will kind of fit in with the you know how they sampled that Western kind of like melody. You associate with like American like Western films.
Right.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a bit of West.
That Wild West feeling.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
So, and part of the association with that is, it's the Wild West. It's dirty. It's gritty. It's a land full of lawlessness. There's a lot of that kind of atmosphere to it. I think it helps with that atmosphere, like, at least for me anyway. So, I mean, granted, if you're not familiar with that kind of stuff, then you're gonna miss out on that reference. Right. I would say. And in the music video, we saw a lot of kind of. So this reminds me of my aunt, because my aunt, she loved watching a lot of like Korean mobster films.
Oh, really?
Or street gang films. Yeah. Which, if you Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. So.
You're just not going to throw your aunt under the bus. We get it.
Yeah. So she loved a lot of those films, and so but there's a lot of guns featured in this movie. Or they had guns pointed at each other under the table. Guys would be busting into the room with guns blazing, whatnot. So there's a lot of this wild, chaotic imagery through the music video, and I think it's also kind of reflected in the music as well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it more reminded me of what was that? The modernized. Well, now it's not so modernized, but the Romeo and Juliet movie, done I want to say 10-15 years ago, where it had Leonardo DiCaprio as one of the leads, and it just brought Shakespeare to the modern era kind of thing.
Never seen it.
Well, so it's basically, instead of having swords, they'd have guns named after swords and whatnot. They lived in like mansions. So it feels like this is bringing the Western world into the modern world, having boys be more modernized, and instead of using a sepia tone, which is usually used for like to designate like an old west kind of feel with the whole dirtiness, it's the colors are sharper, so it helps bring like a cleaner, more modern look to the music video.
But I think you haven't watched a lot of like Asian gang films.
No.
Like monster
well,
films.
yes and no, but it's been a few years.
So, I mean, if you watch a lot of some of the movies, you would definitely see the correlation in the music video, because like when you're driving fancy cars, was it one of them also flying in a helicopter too?
Yeah.
I might be thinking of Super M.
No, I think that there was a helicopter like in the very beginning.
But especially with their way they were dressed too, like some of those gaudy shirts and whatnot, like it was definitely like Korean, like gangster-ish.
There were a lot of motorcycles in it too.
That too, yeah, there was a lot of that. So it was kind of hammy, but I don't know, I enjoyed it. As far as like the music video, like I know. Did you say earlier this week too? Like, I feel like everyone's just trying to get banned from PBS.
Yeah. I mentioned that in the chat. It's like, because this music video, there's been a few other music videos with guns, like Lee Jin-hyuk's and whatnot. Yeah.
Gosh, there was another too. Like, wasn't there also like a girl group too?
Third Eye.
Third Eye. Yes, Third Eye. So there's been a lot of that going around lately.
So it's honestly like, okay, at what point is KBS just gonna go, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna put up all these guns, we just give up now, we give up.
I mean,
maybe that's the movement.
Yeah, that's actually what happened.
Put guns in our K-pop videos.
Yeah, because like that's actually what happened in the early 90s. So you remember when Sotaji and Boys got banned? I forgot what the name of there's like a government body that regulates like content on television and whatnot, right? And eventually like they just got so they got used to it or whatever. They're like, they kept putting up all this stuff and you're just like, okay, whatever. They just got used to it, and over the course of it, like now that's where we're at now. We're able to see all this stuff on TV and whatnot. And it's great. So I think that's a play here. That's probably what they're doing. So, I would say the bass at first. I remember I said this before. Like the bass at first was kind of like overwhelming, but after listening to Stray Kids Easy, which we will talk about later, and then coming back to listen to SF9 Summer Breeze, like I actually felt like, it's like the bass is not overwhelming. It's like it's fine.
Right.
So, and you guys will know what we're talking about when we get to talking about Stray Kids in a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I mean, so something else I was listening to. Did they remix or did they sample the kind of like when you're watching old Western movies? There's that.
Yeah.
Da-na-na.
Yeah.
It was the whistle high up. It wasn't sampled, but it was reminiscent of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a point in there too where they came in with the guitar,
Yeah.
and it almost sounded like an actual like acoustic guitar.
It
I didn't listen to it very
probably
carefully because I thought I heard like a little bit of that. With the way the chords will or the strings will buzz on your fingertips as you strum across it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought or heard some of that, but I didn't go back and check it out. I thought that was. I mean, if that is an actual like live guitar, like that's really interesting. So I enjoyed that part.
Watch them bring out a guitar for one of their performances and just kind of strum it for this song.
That would be amazing, actually. If one of them actually brought it out. So.
Right.
Oh,
I got an idea for it. So, whoever's SF9's company, hit me up because I have an idea for a performance for you guys. I have an idea, and it would be epic. Okay. Just saying.
All right. So, Nick, you want to bring us into our next one?
Sure. So the next one is a comeback from a group called GoodGuys, and this is their song "Run." GoodGuys was a group that was formed in 2017 is when they debuted.
Oh wow!
So they've been out for quite a while. And so yeah, this is their comeback.
Okay. So the song, why don't you guys tell us a bit about this song, Nick?
So this song is very very, I don't even know really how to put it. I mean, it's pop inspired, obviously.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it has definitely elements of house.
Okay.
You know. And so they fuse those two styles together, and a group that's really known for doing this sound is Monsta X.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't there also like a little bit of like electronica as well? Kind of.
There is some electronica in there, especially with the. There's a keyboard in the background that you can only barely hear, and it's very electronica sound keyboard.
Okay.
Or it makes it sound like bells, but it's played on a keyboard.
Yeah, so I only had just listened to it. Well, actually, I only just listened to all these songs prior to recording. I was being busy this week, but to be honest, like this is one of the first music videos that in a long time where the music video itself was so distracting that I actually stopped paying attention to the song for a bit. Like I was listening to the song here and there, but the music video. Yeah,
you commented a lot on the music video.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the. I can't. Yeah, I think it's probably like only like the second video where I was like.
There's a lot going on in the music video that I still can't make sense of it. And I remember that there was an instance where there was a flame that comes up in the lower right corner of the screen. I was like, is that a PNG? Like, is that a paint image or whatever? Just
yeah, as far as like the effects.
Yeah, they're not the highest quality of effects, but I guess it works for some scenes.
I guess the biggest problem I had was they used action shots for everything.
They did. They very much did.
There was always a pan. There was always a sweep. There was always a zoom going on. Even at times where it wasn't necessary, or when they did have a zoom, they didn't zoom in on the proper. They missed out like for the camera work. Like at the part where they would have a zoom on a scene, they didn't zoom in on the killing point of that part of the choreography. Right. So there was a part where it's all of them standing in a kind of linear formation, and they're kind of doing that whole, big D energy with the arms and whatnot.
Big D.
And that's where they should have been zooming in. Is at their upper body, the torso, right? And kind of like doing that zoom in. But no, they didn't. They actually like highlighted too much of their legs, and there was nothing going on with their legs.
Right.
So
like I felt like it should have been
really rough.
Like, I need to start rereading my film studies but like
textbook.
Yeah, because it's that like it should have been the torso like shot, and they should have panned across for each member for that scene.
Yeah, they could have done that
because it would have created that much more of an impact. It would have created.
They could have done that, or they could have done the kind of zoom, like that quick choppy zoom in to kind of like emphasize the strength that they're trying to like, show off. So they could have done both of those even.
Right.
And like there are other scenes where it wasn't necessary to use an action shot, where it was okay to keep the camera static and steady, because there was already enough dynamics going on with dynamicism going on with the choreography. Right. So
I will say
it was overused.
That yes, it's overused, but the reason action shots are used a lot inside of Nugu is because it hides mistakes.
Yeah, which I very much understand.
Yeah.
You know, like if this was in my opinion, if this was like a big 3 camera work, right?
Or even like a mid-sized company.
I would have, or even like a mid-sized company, I would have a problem with it. But I guess my expectations are far lower for something like this.
You're right.
Because I recognize that the company, you know, that the company's not gonna have, you know, just the what do you call it? The funds to do all this, right?
Yeah, they don't have the resources to hire like
and I'm pretty sure
they might not even be able to do
this is done by this is done by DNA Entertainment, which I'm pretty sure this is their only group.
Is it? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that company before, so.
Yeah.
I mean, and that being true, then I mean it makes sense.
I mean, there were probably like two scenes that I really didn't understand, and they only appeared for a split second. One was 2 of the members being shirtless in water.
Yeah, I highlighted that part
and
too.
Where they switched to white shirts. Those were extremely short scenes, and like if we think about it in just a general sense, you know, if we take away like the idea of like them being Nugu and whatnot, it just doesn't make sense when you're like seeing the entire thing. But if you also include the Nugu, how, you know, there could be a lack of funds to kind of hide the mistakes, it does make sense.
And based off of what they're trying to do,
right?
Like the title called "Run." It's a song with a lot of energy. They're showcasing a lot of strength, which, from what I can recall, as well with the bass, the bass in the tempo of the song also is kind of highlighting some of the strength that they're trying to show off. A lot of action shots, which would typically be associated with this kind of themes for the music and the imagery. They could have. I mean, there's other things they could have done as well, like some short, rapid cuts of steady shots.
Right.
That would also work to showcase strength. So, you know, just some I guess some tips, I guess, for the videographer. So,
right.
Otherwise, I mean, it's not. I don't mean to make it sound like a trailer.
It's not, the song is great. The song is great. But we are looking at it as from both sides, like the music and the video side. You know, the video side very much does need work. That's probably the weakest part of this music video is the video itself. But if you listen to the song, it's a really good song.
I will say, as far as like the vocals, there was a couple members whose parts came in kind of sounding uninspired. I think they just need a bit more. Those 2 members need a bit more coaching, to kind of put in a bit more of that some of their soul into their vocals. I mean, it's more of a dance-ish type of song anyway, so that's not that important for it. But when it becomes that noticeable in this type of song, then imagine how much weaker it would sound for something else, for like a different genre.
I mean, honestly, like listen to the song. Honestly, just listen to the song. If you like it, you know, tell us we're wrong. Honestly, just tell us that we're wrong if you or if you disagree, or you know, if you agree, you know, let us know. This is honestly, we're not saying it's a terrible group. We're saying, you know,
we're not even saying that we're not even saying we dislike the song either. So I go back and listen to it again. So.
But yeah.
Now that we kind of moved off, or kind of
we just like, yeah. Well, now we have nothing else to say unless Nick has something to add.
Yeah.
You know, I really like the song. I definitely see a lot of great things here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as I see things from a musical standpoint, I really like this comeback. I think it's really good. I'm definitely gonna check out the other stuff from them, as I just found out about this group.
Right.
Okay.
Because you said 2017. I already forgot.
Yeah, they debuted in 2017.
So you've got an entire back catalog to go through.
Yeah, so
that's kind of like the fun thing with discovering new groups too. That's been out for a while. So.
Yep. So definitely go check out GoodGuys. They are amazing. They definitely have a lot of talent too.
They're a bunch of great guys.
Ah, this guy.
Anyway, moving on.
Ow!
All right.
Han Dynasty jokes.
Wait, so you guys can do puns, but I can't. Thanks.
Yeah, because we're not old.
Yeah, we do great puns.
All right, so up next we have the most anticipated Irene and Seulgi's subunit with the release of Monster, and that was definitely something of a music video, huh?
It's something of a music video, it's something of a song. And you know, one of the first things I thought of with the song was, wow, you know, like, I wouldn't have picked this out to be a SM song. I mean, coming off of Red Velvet Cycle, you kind of see the direction that SM was going with Red Velvet, but this is probably like one of the most not so SM-y type of songs we've had in a while. It's great. Because I did feel like SM was kind of getting really stagnant with their overall label sound across their groups.
Right.
So.
Yep, definitely.
Now, this you did say that this music style was very different. So.
Yes. So, there's a lot of influences here. But this is very much a well, first off, the bass structure is dance pop. Like through and through, it's dance pop. But it's got a lot of like, obviously heavy bass. You hear a lot of dubstep.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very heavy, also a heavy intense keyboard in there. Also with it being relatively slow. I can't say it's a slow song, but it's slow.
Yeah, it's much more down tempo on the.
Yeah,
it's slower than usual like Red Velvet songs is what I'd say.
So calling it dance pop is really hard.
Yeah, because like
groove pop.
Well, one of the first things I thought was like, was it you know how like just pure trap is also that kind of a similar down tempo, but much more extended. Heavier bass with lots of momentum, but extended out. That's what it really reminded me of, and but not so much in that kind of trap instrumentation, but more, just like you were saying, dubstep instrumentation set to like a trap tempo. So that's what it kind of felt like.
So in general, like I think what they actually called it was dance pop, but anyway, it's very much more. Instead of just a dance pop, it's very more electronic dance pop, where they take the tempo, or where they take the, where they take like a pop tempo with dance elements and fuse in dubstep. So it's more of electronic dance pop more than anything else. But it's very slow.
Right.
So earlier you said that you thought I would hate the song, and I thought so too as I was first listening to it, like the first 30 seconds or so. I don't know, like what specifically made you think that I was gonna like hate the whole song or through and through?
Dubstep, the dubstep influence.
The dubstep element.
Yeah.
That. I mean, because normally I normally don't like that as well. And just like with trap too, that down tempo, lots of empty space. But here we don't have a lot of empty space. In fact, you fill it up with a lot of effects and other instrumentation. So, and their vocals, especially with their vocals, they fill up with a lot of their vocals. So that's one of the things I didn't like about trap. It's just that it just felt so empty and hollow and extended out, drawn out. Here they address a lot of those things that I don't like about those type of songs.
Yeah.
The vocals.
Right. I was gonna say like, I don't know if I'm right or wrong because I don't know what lo-fi means, but it kind of feels like that there might be a little bit of a lo-fi influence to it.
You're not that far off, actually.
Yeah.
So you're really only off by about 5 years of electronica music, which is not that far off. Lo-fi has been around for a reasonably short amount of time.
Right.
Yeah, and then it kind of morphed into something else.
Yeah.
Or I should say,
lo-fi has done a very good job of shifting into other music styles. So what lo-fi is doing now is it's kind of doing only fusions. There's no really pure lo-fi much anymore.
Right. Yeah, because I'm about to say, wasn't chill step one of the things that kind of branched off from lo-fi? Or kind of
chill step influenced lo-fi.
Oh.
Okay.
Other way around. But lo-fi has recently moved in with Moombahton to make Moomba Soul. Stuff like that. But this is much more in the realm of chill step, much more in the realm of something along those lines, which, like I said, you're not far off on. It's very reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was about to say, if you're gonna say like lo-fi, probably like what, 2018 era, kind of more of that influence of
yeah, lo-fi came around really recently. 2018, 2019. 2019 was lo-fi's blow up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
So but it was around before that, but this is very much more chill step because if you had lo-fi, it would tone down the amount of dubstep in this song.
Yeah, I was about to say it would definitely, and then the bass presence would be much more removed.
Yeah,
as well.
But chill step on the other hand, it really amplifies that dubstep.
Okay.
Yeah,
that glitch hop almost.
Yeah, because man, you pretty much said everything I was going to say with that. So, perfect, man. We're on the same page.
It kind of creates that eerie feeling in the song, and which
pairs very well with the imagery.
Right.
Yep. A lot of that is also because it's very mid-tempo. It's very slow. It almost feels sinister in a way.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot of tension in the ambience, like the ambience of this song, and the music video as well. Like they pair each other very well.
And a lot of that also comes from the amount of dissonance in this song. Dissonance in music style, especially. I mean, you have dance pop, which is very up tempo, very positive, very all of that. You have dubstep, which is usually and especially a dark version of dubstep, which is very evil, very slowed down with its chill step influences. So that creates a big dissonance in the song.
Ooh. Now there was one point in the song where he really gave it a hard wub.
Yeah. That's dubstep in general. Wobble bass. Yeah.
Wait, that's what it's called? Wobble bass?
Yeah.
See, I'm still learning.
I'm still learning. When you hear those really, really low pitched wubs, I guess is what people call them, that's wobble bass.
Okay.
It made me cringe, to be honest. But I think that's the intent, considering the amount of attention they put in the song. And
probably it's a very 2015 sound with that wobble bass that they used. 2015,
2012 even.
Yeah, somewhere on there.
Yeah.
I've got to say
So-
one of my favorite parts for the music video is when they all get together and like kind of form a big old beast and kind of just go room. That it kind of makes it look like that they look like that they're bigger than they actually are. Similar to like a school of fish and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to see SM release a music video like this, as well as Psycho, this is a much more bolder SM that we've seen in the past. Like years.
Especially in the recent years where SM's been playing it very safe.
Yes.
And then 2019 hit, and they just thrown all the safety out the window.
Yeah. Right? Because this one has a gun too.
I mean, especially in the tail end of 2019 is when they really yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, you started to see Super M. You're seeing XOSC back. So you're definitely seeing SM make a lot of plays now.
Yes, thank goodness, to be honest. Really. So I really enjoyed Monster a lot more than I thought I would. So I'd definitely go back and give it another listen.
You should listen to the high note and the middle note where they separate. Is it that they separate the high notes and the low notes, or is it? Or do they just?
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Different performance versions.
Okay, I'll check it out. Oh man, yeah. I already think that this summer is really heating up, and is definitely have already overtaken 2019. And this is yet another reason why is this lineup that we just talked
It's
about.
still only the beginning of summer. Jeez.
We still got August.
Yep. And if you guys think about it as well, we are just over halfway through this year already.
Yeah.
It being July means we're already more than halfway into this year.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you think about it, there's a lot of groups that have not come back this year yet. That we'll be really excited for later on.
Especially some of the ones that debuted late last year as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm really looking forward to seeing them have their first.
I expect that the last half this year will be jam packed.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Speaking of jam packed, Stray Kids, this next one, right?
Oh,
bro, Stray Kids have been busy.
I just want to say that was a solid segue. I give you props for that one.
So because these guys have been busy this year, right? Not just year.
It feels like a comeback every week.
It really does, and I want to say maybe it's because of what's going on in the world. They probably can't be doing as much promotions or performances as they want. So you know what? Why not put out more music videos?
Why not?
Well,
that's a great way to be productive.
Yeah, I mean, if people haven't noticed, promotions have been a lot shorter for almost all the artists. They've usually you'd see them for maybe a month and a half, but
3 months even.
And you know what's crazy is a lot of the quality of MVs have really not gone down from the situation.
Right.
Higher, more volume, a higher quantity of releases, yet same quality.
It was like what happened when the whole debut thing happened, where groups would debut and then a month later they come back.
And
I remember us talking about how we thought if other groups did this, the quality would go way down, but it really hasn't.
No,
they've kept up, and it's really nuts to see this happening.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean. So, because this is a B-side track to God's Menu.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is awesome, man.
Yeah, this is a B-side.
We're really getting spoiled by Stray Kids right now. We really are.
Yeah,
it's great. So, let's just jump into the song, guys. So this song, when you said that I wasn't gonna like the song, I thought so too from the very beginning. But you say it was because of the auto-tune, right? So
yep,
they used a lot of auto-tune in the song, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a problem because it wasn't like that slow, exaggerated, extended out auto-tune that you would see in a lot of older American hip hop, which I really didn't like. In fact, one of the other artists that we didn't talk about, that we cut for a reason, that's more like along that style.
Right.
Here the music is a lot more up tempo, a lot more harder hitting. There's a lot going on with this song, as far as like not just the instrumentation but the effects.
Yeah,
like they were doing that thing where it was going back and forth between your left and right ear. You're listening to headphones. There's a lot of effects that are kind of doing that. Same with I think it was a 808 I heard in there. They're going with that. So it was just really dynamic. There was just so much going on.
Yeah.
So I loved it. Actually, the auto-tune did not bother me at all with that.
The only gripe I have with this song is the dynamics of the song, right? Varying from loud to quiet, just wasn't a whole lot of.
So yeah, because I mean the parts were because of the tempo and the sheer amount of effects that they put in. The effects at the points of the song where it would be quieter is where they would have an effect going on in the back, but it wasn't really so much in the back. It was more like in the front too.
The bridge as well felt a little louder than it should have been for me.
Yeah, because when it comes to bridge, you kind of expect a more of a kind of a release that you catch your breath for a bit.
Yep.
Give your ears a break so that when the song picks up again, your ears are craving that song to come back. And it didn't really have that with the bridge.
Right.
So. Yeah, I can totally see that. Yep.
This is one of those songs that you can just kind of vibe to and just listen to in the background, because this does not feel like a song you're actively listening to. Even when you're looking at the music video itself, there's not because if you've seen other Stray Kids music videos, they're much more active, especially for the like main music videos. I've noticed when it comes to the B-side track music videos, they're not as impactful. They don't put so much focus. Which I get it. It's a B-side track. Because if you compare it to its title track, which is God's Menu, there's a lot more effects. There's a lot more effort that looks like it was put into it.
Yep. As per the usual for A-side versus B-side.
Yeah, and just like we were saying with that, like I think it was because of that, I was able to like really, or I found myself really kind of anchored to those effects that was going on, in addition to, their vocals, because, like you said, not as much going on.
Yeah, and Stray Kids has really made that their sound now. I don't mean this in the wrong way, but an over-affected sound. Yep. A lot of effects applied in mass, but that don't contradict.
Right. And to be honest, I like it. I really do. I will add this to my my gym workout playlist. Yeah.
I've also noticed that recently, especially this week, there's a lot of techno influence.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was just thinking about techno,
techno or electronica. Like in this, for example, there's some techno influence.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about before we started recording too, like the whole, because like 90s K-pop was very techno, hip hop infused, especially on the techno part. And for that era, it was like really unheard of, like hip hop and techno. They don't go together. But that kind of that creates the basis for modern day K-pop, because there's a lot of fusion going on in K-pop, right? We talked about this before all last year, especially.
So. I mean, I would argue that K-pop as a pure genre just really doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, because it
is K-pop is fusions.
Exactly.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No, I mean a lot of genres are fusions. That's why I love it.
But that's exactly why I love it.
And that's what makes K-pop so original, is that there is no original sound. I mean, if you go back far enough, in Korean music in itself, there is.
Right.
Especially with historically Korean music. But in K-pop in general, it's always fusions, But K-pop in itself really comes down to chord progressions and stuff like that really makes it unique.
Right.
Yes. Chord progressions. Especially with like the amount of melodies, sub-melodies, and the fact that they still have a dynamic range that's no longer present in American music. So yeah, no, it's great. What was it? We both said the same thing, right? Like at around the 2-minute marker, it was just kind of like, you know, is the song, when's the song gonna end?
Yeah, so Stray Kids, okay, Easy got really bland really quickly for me.
It started off very impactful for me.
It did, but as I got used to it, and I understood what was happening, it just became very, very bland. Like so, because I felt like there was nothing that really mixed it up.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I mean, I guess that makes sense for a B-side,
Right.
But I wish it was more like Side Effects, I guess, where Side Effects had stuff that was interesting in the second half that made it more original. But this just didn't feel that way.
See, I was going to bring up Side Effects too, for exactly the same reason. And especially with the way they played around with the vocalization in Side Effects, or how they would have like vocal overlays, like sampled overlays. I really loved what they did with there, and I wish they had employed a lot of that here as well.
So
I think Aura's right. I think we all do share one brain cell.
Yeah, we all are. We've been around. We've been with each other for over a year and a half now. We're starting to share one brain cell.
But it's all right, you know. We still have a lot of things we disagree on, but here, this is one of the songs. And Stray Kids is one of those groups that I feel like we agree on the most, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the most consistent.
Right.
Yeah, most consistent. I mean, there was only that one comeback late last year where I liked it, you didn't like it, Aura was more, you know, in the middle about. So I was like, well, but everything else we've always been on the same page with. Can
I say that this is one of the few Stray Kids songs that it was hard to notice Felix's deep voice in the song.
Yeah,
the song is set a lot deeper than their other stuff.
Because
there was so much bass too throughout this whole song.
There was.
Because usually, like if you're listening to a Stray Kids song, you can pick out Felix's voice immediately because his voice is so deep compared to all the other members.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
yeah, I mean, I think part of that too is because of just the sheer amount of bass in the song. You know, it's kind of like you look at a guy who's 6 feet tall, he's tall, but when he's standing next to a guy who's like 7 feet tall, he looks short.
Yep.
You know,
very similar.
And it's just like with SF9 Summer Breeze. You know, going back to that song after this, I'm just like, gee, Summer Breeze, bass? What bass?
Yeah.
You're about to say, Aura? You have something that you want to add in real quick?
I was just gonna say, talking about bass just reminds me of what BM's card was saying about Felix, how puberty just hit him different.
Yep.
And you know, it's all in good fun, no shade, no nothing, but it's just a funny thing that
he's right,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
Dude, Felix is only 19 and his voice is that deep.
I know, right? Oh man. Okay, so since we're short on time now,
right? So
we just have to
quick. Well, no, not quick shots.
Quick shots.
Music video. We gotta make out.
I keep doing that.
He's trying to avoid.
He is.
All right, Aura, go ahead.
What?
Yep, Aura, on you.
Alright. So, this is one that we were planning to talk about, but because of time, it's going to be Swan's Moonlight. Yeah. It's not... It feels like a ballad, but also at the same time not.
Because it's R&B.
Yeah, it's R&B.
Okay.
So it's the instrumentation is very classic 90s R&B, American R&B, with early 2000s American R&B vocal style.
And but like her vocals were like amazing in that song. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Definitely.
I liked it a lot too. I really did. I mean, you guys.
Her vocals remind me a lot of Ruan as well.
Oh my god, why'd you have to bring
And you know how much you know how much these two love Rion and BB. Which, by the way, BB's coming back soon. I can't remember the date exactly, but
yes,
Definitely get ready.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna be ready.
all right.
So,
All right,
Jihoon, go ahead, because mine transitions.
Oh really? Now?
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know who I want to pick. They're all great. You know, they're like seriously, they're all great.
They are. Now, so that just means it's gonna be harder to pick. So pick.
Can't pick one, man. I don't know, cause even with the ones that we didn't talk about today, they're like really in high contention.
Right.
So yeah, cause like what's it? G-Idol's "I'm the Trend" is on my short list. We got one with "Can You Hear Me?" also on my short list. Swan Moonlight, I could take her off because I already mentioned her, so he picked her on my behalf. Great, thank you.
In other words, he's using my pick as his pick.
Exactly. And you got SF9, Summer Breeze, Irene Seulgi's Monster. Like seriously, like it's a really hard lineup to pick from.
Just stop hyping and just pick.
No, man.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe them.
Right?
You know what?
Russian roulette.
I'll go with G-Idol.
Russian roulette.
Trend.
Oh, G-Idol.
G-Idol, I'm the trend.
Alright.
My pick.
Okay. Nice. So for me, this is gonna transition a bit into our quick shots. So I'll just put my quick shot first. I'm going to choose Park 1's My Tale.
Alright.
Okay.
Park 1 came back with this on July 5th. Currently has almost 500,000 views on Super Sound Bugs. It is for the drama It's Okay to Not Be Okay, which, if you know anything about me, you know I stand for Miss 9. From Miss 9's Giddy is in there, so I'm definitely watching that right now, and so this just kind of made it all the better. But also I really love the song, and I really love his vocal quality.
Okay.
So.
Because I remember when you were talking about it, you were like, "Oh, I know this scene. I know this scene." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Did you mention what drama it was?
Yeah,
he did.
It's okay to not be okay.
Yep. So, one we didn't talk about for our main topics, but we'll have it as a quick shot instead. Lee Ka-eun, if you remember her, she's part of After School. And she was also on Produce 48. She had a release called Can You Hear Me? Very beautiful and kind of, heartfelt, calming jazz type song. So it's got a jazz accompaniment to it. Very lovely song.
I loved her voice.
So
I loved her voice. It was just beautiful.
Yep. It fit very well. So onto you, Aura.
Well, okay, so this next one is something that Jihoon brought up for his choice, which is G-Idol's Trend, or I'm the Trend. This was released during their online concert. It's almost like a fan love, a song to show their love for their fans. Shows a lot of the members just having fun, enjoying their time being around each other.
I love those kind of music.
Oh videos. Yeah. It reminds me of their other music video that they shot in, I believe, San Francisco.
Yep. Blow Your Mind.
Yeah, Blow Your Mind. And that's another one that I found that Jihoon really liked, because both
I love it.
I'm the Trend and Blow Your Mind were kind of just the members having fun with each other. I also really like their debut and their first comeback. So it's not to say I don't like their main releases either. Right. Alright.
So back to you, Nick.
Alright. Well, BTS is in the news again. Shocker.
I mean, not a bad thing.
Nope, never.
So It's definitely not bad. BTS is now the first artist in history. Notice how I did not say K-pop artist. The first artist in history to achieve 20 number ones on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep. So they now have 20 digital songs that have made number one on the world sales charts.
And
Man,
your dog is
your dog's
excited
hyping
about
up.
that.
I know.
Your dog's excited about that.
He is. He's a BTS fan.
Your dog's annoying me.
So, he is. So the group's new Japanese pre-release track, "Stay Gold," debuted at number one on the song sales chart for the week ended on July 4th, making it the 20th song. And with this latest achievement, BTS has broken their own record.
You know what? I've given up on...
Only BTS can beat BTS records.
BTS is just a record breaker. That's all they are. They're record breakers.
And I'm sure they will go on to break the record again. Stay Gold also marks BTS's 89th song to make it to the top 10 chart of another Billboard record.
Oh my god, dude. 89th?
Yep, it is their 89th song to make it on the top 10 of Billboards. So, hopefully we will see a lot more from them and they continue to break their own records.
Yep.
So,
alright, back to you.
Alright, so, for some of you who have been watching the Chinese produce series 2020, it's finally over. They've created they've already found the members. It's a 7-member group called Bon Bon Girls 303. There are members from SNH48 as one of the members, and one of the other members is also from GoodGuys. So, yeah, it's Sally from GoodGuys. So,
Alright, so for my part of the quick shots, get some honey butter mixed nuts in your life.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I've got fried chicken, spicy fried chicken this time.
Yo, that looks delicious.
All right, we about ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Please wrap it up.
Everyone stay safe, by the way.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for watching. This has been Out of State Nation. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to know when we upload in the future. Thanks to our sponsor that doesn't actually sponsor us, Honey Butter Mixed Nuts. Join our Discord. We have I messed it up again. No. Join our Discord. We post there frequently and also kind of post snippets of what we're going to talk about for the next week. Follow our Twitter. That will be all in the description below.
Yep.
We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.